historic tour penultimate round at Kyalami. We now pick up on action from the Execuline Pre-66 Sports and GTs, and Dino Scribante is the man to beat in Class A in his Ford GT40. Lazarus just off the pace of him, and Mark Toy right there too. But look out for Franco Scribante. The endurance is sorted out. It's now to hit the sprint series and sort that out.
Yeah, I just found out that I won the endurance championship this morning with points, and also I think Barry Scott's out of the championship, so that's one. Still got to run in that to win the index of performance, but the big one is the sprint races. Dino is 6 points behind me and he's quick.
So it's out of the Ferrari into a big Ford and something completely different, isn't it?
Yes, it's actually completely different. The dynamics the same, but we told a bit of a story yesterday with the Galaxie was working so well that in the one fast right-hand kick with the Ferrari out driving, it's like not off to the apex flat. Now doing the same thing with the Galaxie, not off to the apex. I said, oh no, I'm driving a Galaxie, so I had to tiptoe a bit of the track, 2 wheels back. I said, I'm driving a Galaxie, it's a big heavy thing.
Do you know, it's a tight battle between yourself and Ross today to sort out the sprint series, but it looks like you've got the pace to handle him.
Yeah, Greg, you know, we've lucky enough this morning we found some pace. We battled a bit yesterday, just couldn't find a setup on the car, and Murphy's Law last session we found a bit of a setup, and yeah, it went well this morning. Got held up in a bit of traffic, but you know, Roscoe's going incredibly well. I think he's done his best around here, so yeah, I think it's going to be a humdinger of a race.
3 big Class A cars at the front, but how's that? Franco Scribante stepping up for the day and moving into the sports and GTs and coming to play with those big cars at the front too.
And it's great to see Jaki SCHECKTER back behind the wheel, and that Galaxie is certainly going to be a bit of a handful for him in this race.
So heading across the line to start lap 1. It's a good start there from Dino. Ross Lazarus is going to try and outgun Toy. He does. Scribante slots in behind. We go on board with FALKINER looking back at SCHECKTER on the inside of Toy, and the Ford beats the Chev, but look at the Alfa of Tuck sneaking through. He might just get that Chevy into 3.
Trevor Tuck is a very, very big Alfa Fundi, and he loves racing his little Alfa. In fact, he worked for an Alfa Romeo dealership as well for a few years.
Remember, he was involved in the production car as well. So looks as if he's going well here in Midas Historic Tour, but not able to run with the additional power of the Chevy. The Black Widow sticking to the back end of the Galaxie. That's Oliver Delay going through the Liqui Moly GT40. And he's having a superb battle here with FALKINER. The Sunday Times man, another one of those journalists showing that he's got the prowess to get behind a wheel too.
Not a shabby racing driver either, but very good awareness there from both of them. Not a hint of contact between the two of them there. And they remain in those places. Franco Scribante in the orange Ford Mustang also doing a good job at the front there in this early part of the race.
I think the pressure's on Delay when he came into the S's there. Man, he was sideways, hanging on for dear life, but managing to keep it onto the grey stuff here at Kyalami. Up onto the braking markers, you can see Jaki SCHECKTER closing in on FALKINER, bringing Toy along, and in the background, you mentioned Tuck, but looking just behind, there's Densham there too in the second of the Alphas.
Yeah, and if Densham can just get close there, you're going to see a nice battle between the two Alphas there.
Through the mine shaft sweep now, FALKINER onto Delay. Oliver Delay looking for a way to keep that Ford Mustang behind. The Hillman's back in action here. Oh, he's sideways. Paul Barrington-Smith getting it completely sideways out of West Bank.
Well, everybody seem to want to drive that little car this weekend, and everybody's enjoying it.
No doubt about that. It's great battles right through the field there. Remember, you got Michael Bishop there too, looking good. He's in the Gordini. And in the mix here with this mid-pack is also Andre de Kock in the Dart. So the Citizen Motoring man. How many guys are we out there? I don't know. I need to have a chance in this tour, bud.
we have to have a chance. I mean, you got your chance earlier on the season.
It's definitely time for Hendrik to get back into a driver's seat.
Andre de Kock there in the Dart, as you say, mixing it up. I mean, you know, he's a world record holder going through a tunnel of fire on a motorbike. And here he is racing and even hitting the brakes so hard that he's generating some tyre smoke.
The smoking gun, Andre de Kock, comes through. Wayne Barrington-Smith in the background there in the Imp and battling hard. You can see there's no inch given here. And as I say that, yeah, I was going to say, how much longer can he hang on? Scott Rainier, 360 degrees onto the dirt. Not as well as Anton Voss was able to do in the historic Saloons.
Well, he's not the first, or he's not going to be the last one losing it in the world-famous S's here at Kyalami.
You've got some guys to live up to and some big crashes in that corner, there's for sure.
Absolutely right.
So here we get another shot. Look at him just getting it sideways. Well done from Wayne Barrington-Smith, just missing out on Rainier and the 144 car of Les McLeod. That, of course, the NG development car. Just managing to just miss out. But speaking of missing out,
On the inside.
hello! What part of the track do you want to use, Trevor Tuck? That wasn't the track at all. That was definitely grass and red and white stuff.
I think the battle has been engaged, and how they avoided missing each other there, not making any contact, I absolutely don't know.
Yeah, phenomenal stuff there from Tuck and DeToy. DeToy in the Black Widow, the big 57 Chevy Bel Air. And it looks as if Tuck and Densham are now going hunting for some V8s.
You see the power in that Chevy Bel Air. As we go back to the front, and it is still Dino Scribante is pulled out. Quite a lead from Ross Lazarus.
Lazarus under pressure though, that's why. He's having to go defensive and keep out Mark DeToy. The Lola T70 Spyder going really well here at Kyalami and putting the pressure onto Lazarus. He's not too concerned about winning out the endurance. That's all sorted out. Sprint races are still up for grabs here between him and Dino. So staying ahead of DeToy is crucial.
Well, DeToy, of course, will have the benefit, as we go on board with him, the benefit of a much lighter car and much more nimble, I would imagine, than the GT40 ahead of him. Ooh, and Oliver Delay getting a little unstable on the braking there for Clubhouse Corner. That gives Falconer a chance to close in on him. He's right there with him now as we go on board with Thomas Falconer. Can he make it on the inside of the S's? Not this time, but I'm sure Delay knows he's there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. They've had a great dice all through the 8 laps here. And I tell you something, it's pretty even stuff there between the GT40 and the Mustang.
Whoa.
Even stuff here as well between the Alphas. And Densham's just fallen slightly back. He was a lot closer to Tuck. But look at Tuck. He is hassling DeToy here.
He's just throwing that Alfa Giulia around. But of course, he has got a power deficit to the Black Widow ahead of him. Closing in under braking as Jonathan DeToy gets a little bit sideways through his bank corner. Can he go down the inside? Yes, he can. He certainly doesn't have the power down the hill. And there we go. The Bel Air just powers his way ahead again.
Yeah, no replacement for displacement. But remember, the two very talented drivers here, one of them being Tuck, the other one, of course, DeToy, who spends hours and hours behind various wheels. And here comes the inside line from Tuck. Okay, that's it. That's Tuck's corner from now on. It's no longer known as the bowl. It's St. Lube Racing corner. And whoa, De Lange's out of shape here. Oh, Tiens De Lange coming together, I think, with Parrott. Yeah, Parrott and De Lange. I think Nick Parrott just took evasive action as Tiens De Lange got it wrong. The Y171 Ford Cortina of Tiens De Lange. That car, of course, won Best Car of the Year in the historic tour. And unfortunately, it's not the best right now, parked on the sideline.
Front runners now getting mixed up in some of the midfield runners. This is Franco Scribante in the Ford Mustang, currently lying in 4th position.
It's a good drive here from Scribante. He's really going hard and getting to the front end, but not able to run with the guys at the very front. Nice battle here, as we've seen all
Densham on the inside.
Densham gets through. Densham finds a way through West Bank corner. Tuck just got caught napping there, and Densham sneaks through. I think he might just say to Clive, you go and have a go, and maybe you can get past.
Probably. The two working together to try and get past the Chevy Bel Air of Jonathan DeToy ahead of them. But what can they do about the power deficit? Nothing. That's the answer. It'll have to be down to skills and probably forcing Jonathan into some kind of a mistake.
It looks like Falkiner's run wide too. That was Thomas Falkiner in the Mustang on the sideline. And yeah, not only is it the Cortina, yes it is,
Indeed.
there you go in the background.
Well spotted.
Falkiner is off, and that's a big
there's
pity.
not oil, is there oil or some
Good possibility.
Yeah,
There we go.
So
Safety car has been
out.
called for. That's the RS Ford Focus. Lazarus Motor Company sponsoring that vehicle this weekend. So Dino looks like he's going to bring these guys across the line to take the checkered flag. What a pity. They finished under safety car conditions, but there was some change of surface down in the bowl that had to be sorted out. We didn't want to lose any more cars here in the Execuline Pre-66 Sports and GTs. Dino Scribante takes the victory. Ross Lazarus will come through for 2nd place, and Mark DeToy in 3rd place in the Walls Ice Cream replica. T70 Spyder having a great day's racing so far. But as you can see, almost all the other cars just sauntering across the line now under safety car conditions. Confirmation of those results: Class A going to Scribante, Lazarus and DeToy. Class B to Franco Scribante, a good drive from him to beat out Delay. Thomas Falconer, even though he spun out, still classified as Class C's winner. That was a case of Scuderia Scribante just killing everybody, eh?
Yeah, look, car's like a rocket today. You know, Kyalami is always a bit of an odd one because they combine the classes, so I upgraded to the Sports and GT and just see if I could hang on to those guys.
He wasn't too far off the pace. Let's see if he's able to run with them in this 2nd race. They come around for the rolling start. Look out for the Chevy Alfa battle again. And I wonder if Jaki SCHECKTER might be able to hang on to Delay and Falconer.
SCHECKTER doing a good job in the last race to finish in 7th position. Can he improve on that as we get underway? And look at the start that Mark du Toit's got in that little Lola T70.
Yeah, not a bad effort there from him, trying to thread the needle between the two GT40s. We're on board here with Jaki, and we heard earlier from him how difficult this car was to drive. Look at him, having to do a bit of wheel work. He wasn't able to beat up the Chevy, and the Chevy's ahead, so the Black Widow has put himself ahead of the Galaxie, and that's one car between himself and the Alfas now. Not a bad effort there from Jono.
This is fantastic. That onboard shot just shows you how busy the driver is behind the wheel, keeping that car balanced completely on the right line. As we go into Sunset Corner, and FALKINER very, very close there to Oliver Delay in the GT40. Can he get past? And look at this. This is the battle. This is Dino Scribante under pressure from Mark du Toit. And du Toit is looking very, very keen to get into the lead there. That will be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, big turn up there, because remember, du Toit is not really involved in this championship. It's all about Dino Scribante. He needs 2 victories. Lazarus can't afford to be 1 car back from Dino, and has to probably try and catch that Lola T70 Spyder. A bit further back here you can see that's Chad Tendashate having a good run in the 27E, putting pressure onto the back end of one of the Giulias. And in fact, it's like the Giulia Cup. We mentioned it the last time. There's about 7 or 8 of those Giulias that are involved in this mid-pack battle with the E-Type Jag, and of course that Alfa sports car as well.
This is a little Alfa. I was just going to say number 27. Doesn't look like an Alfa that I've seen before, but anyway.
I think it's Alfa powered. It's a VW sports car, but with Alfa powerhouse underneath it, and that's why he can run with these guys. E-Type Jag is having a superb one, and a much better one in race number 1. So it looks like things have turned around for a couple of the drivers, including du Toit, who puts big pressure onto Dino Scribante into the ball.
Well, Ross Lazarus will be watching out what's happening ahead of him, of course, with big interest because of the championship implications that it will have, whichever way it goes. And the battle between these 2 guys are going to slow them down, so that can get Lazarus closer to them as well.
I think that's the most important thing, is Lazarus will probably do a bit of a mature bit of driving here. He's not going to go and push too hard to try and break his car. At the halfway mark, nothing has really changed. They've dropped Lazarus slightly, but I think he might be just hanging on, because remember, he's got some work to do in the endurance race later on, just to wrap that title up. He's basically got to just start that race, and the title goes to him. Here, he knows that du Toit is putting pressure onto Dino. Maybe Dino makes a mistake. This is why he's probably hanging back. And as I say that, du Toit goes through.
Got him on the inside of Sunset. Looked like he just let him through there. Wonder if there's a problem with that car.
Dino doesn't let people through that easily, and it did look a little bit easier than most times. But now we've got a Lola T70 Spyder at the front end, and a GT40s in 2 and 3. Dino in 2nd place. As Ross comes across the line, he'll get word of that, and he'll know that that's exactly where he needs to be now. Doesn't have to push any harder than what he is, and should maintain the lead going into the final round.
Here we go. The 2 Alfas have cottoned onto the tail of Jonathan du Toit's Chevy Bel Air. And it is Clive Densham who's ahead of Trevor Tuck at the moment, but they will be working together to get closer and closer so that they can have a go at du Toit.
I think du Toit's looking in the room and going, not again. Here we go. These 2 little wannabes come into play with my big V8. I think Denham and Tuck are going, yes, we're coming for some more fun.
Yeah, absolutely on board we go with Trevor Tuck. And I think another factor that we should take into account, that Chevy is a very big and heavy car, and he's got to look after the tyres of that car.
Tyres and brakes.
And brakes. Not get too much wheel spin, not overwork brakes.
Here on the bigger circuit, it helps him a huge amount because he's got a bit of time to cool the brakes because of the longer straights. But at Swartkops and at the shorter circuits, it'll be a little bit more difficult for him to do that. They're coming out of West Bank now, and the 2 Alfas all over that Spyder. And the Black Widow's under pressure here. We've got 2.5 laps to go. And it looks like Densham is going to go around the outside. Tuck's going on his inside. We're going to go 3x3 into the kink.
And then he just puts his foot down and says, goodbye, boys. Tuck on the inside into the kink. This is not a usual overtaking position, but I think Densham probably let him through so that he can have a go.
St. Louis Racing boys working together to try and catch Trans-Africa Racing's Chevy Bel Air in front. And they're not too far off. Look at that. It's become a bit of a diamond trailer on the back. He's going, come on, let's go, let's go. Oh, Tuck is loving this.
Absolutely.
He really is enjoying himself out there. He's saying to Clive, come on, we've got to catch Jono.
What can they do? I asked that rhetorical question earlier on. He's got so much more power, has Jonathan du Toit. So it's only a question of putting pressure on, putting on the pressure, hoping that he will make some kind of a mistake to close on one of the classic Porsches.
Nice to see that Porsche. That's Clive Winterstein. And they're coming up onto the back end.
Oh, he's going to use traffic.
The traffic might help out. Oh, yes! Trevor Tucker's got through, but wait, hold on. We're not finished on the straight yet. There it comes. The Bel Air comes flying past.
I tell you what, in any other case, that would have been brilliant racecraft of Trevor Tuck to just force his opposition behind the slower car so that he can get away past him.
Another slow
there he
car
is
coming
again.
up. Here we go. Oh, he might get the favourite return on him. He does.
It's an Alfa, of course.
It's an Alfa. It gets in the way, but no worries there for Tuck. He drives around the outside.
Whoa.
It did slow Jono down slightly. He runs wide coming out of Clubhouse. Now into the S's. Watch for the handling here. Look at that. The bigger car has to come off a lot earlier, and Tuck closes onto the bumper. He can actually probably use some of that. Oh, as I say that, the engine might have gone. Yes, he's blown. Tuck has got past, and Jonathan du Toit is out of there.
I was just going to say, it looks like his rear tyres were going off, but he's got much bigger problems now.
I don't think Jono realised as he came up the hill, he's just looked in the rearview mirror now and said, oh, puff of smoke, that's me. Let me park it on the sideline.
I'll park it as quickly as possible to avoid any further damage. That car's got to be repaired afterwards. So
What a pity though, man.
Wow, it is, eh?
That was such a good dice. Can they catch the Galaxie? Come on. Who's got your money on?
Now the 12, but look at that. He is absolutely on the limit, is Trevor Tucker. Here comes Densham on the inside. Well, we've still got a lot of entertainment as these two parade together. And here comes Tuck on the inside. Is he going to do it again? No, not this time.
Densham just keeps it on the loud pedal a fraction of a second quicker than what he was able to on the last lap. And now Tuck looks for final corner honours. Can he get through there? No, Densham goes defensive. Wow, this is awesome. They're about to start the last lap, and there is nothing. Oh, no, Densham runs wide. I was about to say, nothing that Densham can do to get it wrong other than his own mistake. 2 laps to go as they cross the line, and yeah, Tuck's going, man, this is a jaw.
He said, come on, get close. I want more of that.
You can see the smile on his open face helmet there.
I think Clive Densham just took his eye off the track there for a moment, maybe looking in his rearview mirror for some reason, and they just went wide.
I can tell you the reason. Trevor Tuck.
Right.
Oh, no! The leader! Hand up from du Toit. That looks like it's the end of the day for the Spyder. Yes, he's pulled onto the sideline. Just waits for the cars to come through, and then we'll enter pit lane. So Trans-Africa Racing, both cars out. That's a huge blow here, especially on the last lap into the last corner. Oh, wow. Dino Scribante gifted a victory there. Ross Lazarus should still finish in second place, but what a pity there for Mark du Toit.
That must be heartbreaking. Just before the final corner of the final lap.
Scribante wins out, Lazarus in second place. Franco Scribante wins Class B. C's goes to FALKINER, and Jaki SCHECKTER takes the Legends. There's a couple of big cars out there that have got your name on them now, but I'm a bit concerned about that, eh?
Yeah, I must go and check where the red paint is. Luckily no touches, but it was great, huh?
A superb day in the office so far, and that's a double for the day.
Greg, it was great. It was a fantastic day. We were a bit worried about the big V8s today at Kyalami. They're much quicker than us. Clive and I did a bit of teamwork. Team orders are allowed. And we worked together, and we had a fantastic dice. It was fantastic. We finished, within thousandths of a second. The cars are flying, so we're back on it.
Nice double on the day there.
Very good. Yeah, it's boiling hot out there. But had a very good scrap with old Oliver Delay in his GT40. He got me in the first one, and I got him back in the second. So good to be ahead of a sports car. And yeah, a fantastic day out on the track.
Still a little bit of work to do in the championship. One more round to go, and you're looking forward to Swartkops now?
Absolutely, yeah. Swartkops is always a challenge with these big cars, very tight. But yeah, we'll be out there giving it horns and hopefully have another good performance.